Now, the first part of a discussion is the current state of the sector, which obviously, this is an output of our brainstorming. That first, there is, as we have experienced from time to time, seasonal oversupply of agriculture and aquatic produce. Just seasonal, no? There is a siloed agricultural supply chain management campaigns. And we have seen some organizations like the Sakahon and the Rural Rising trying to do what their respective advocacies in relation to helping the farmers and the fisher folks market their produce. And we have obviously inadequate connectivity of infrastructure, especially on these marginalized farmers and fisher folks. Okay, so in the course of a discussion based on that, we have found out that these are some of the concerns that we have to explore, and how the open network could maybe in the end help, or mitigate or find solutions to these issues. The supply and demand on agriculture and fishery products seems to be not even. No, what I'm trying to say is that what we have been discussing is that if there is deficiency, the usual alternative our government would be having would be to import. If there would be oversupply, the tendency is that we do not export these things, but we either dump or throw them because of the prohibitive cost of trying to process or whatever, when there would be, for example, oversupply of tomatoes or of other vegetables from the north and the like. So there is an issue on this. No? So how we could balance is another thing. There is also, based on our discussion, inadequate data, reliable data on what is to be produced or how many of our produce is being recorded as part of the statistics. This has been experienced, especially when you do the data gathering in some sectors, when we do research, which are at times not so reliable. Obviously, because of this situation, there is a lack of agricultural management system. And as what Sir George has been asserting, even the Department of Agriculture, they do not have CIO, an information officer that is supposed to be responsible of having all of this data documented, perhaps, or even disseminated. So how can the Open Run network help the agriculture and fisheries sector? We provided these two major, well, I don't know, it has to be tested empirically, which of course the state universities and colleges can do that, or even the Bureau of Agricultural Research, is this. First, there must be a provision of a platform to put disaggregated initiatives related to supply chain management together and allow stakeholders, meaning the farmers, the fisher folks, the businessmen, the consumers, to have access of the real-time data of what this is all about. No, meaning, if there is an oversupply of this vegetable, what to do with it? Or a deficiency of, for example, of sugar, what to do with it? So that they can manage to the extent that it would not lead into waste. And second, help lower capital expenditure in building connectivity infrastructure, thus encouraging the industry to invest in unserved and underserved areas, which of course most of the discussion we had yesterday and this morning is focused on that. So, given that situation, what we have, theoretically again, uh, to do in the next 6 months, or literally it could be a proxy action plan. One, that there should be collaboration among different stakeholders to develop a agricultural management support system, just like what you do in the LTO when they have a portal, efficient way of registering our licenses, or things like that, which we can do also in the agriculture and the fishery sector. We have also to identify or name government agency that would spearhead on this. Well, we have explored it basically that it has to be the Department of Agriculture, but considering that we still do not have a secretary in agriculture, although it's the president that serves as one, the thing is they should be the one that would initiate in coming up with this, such that all the sectors could converge. There would be a synergy on how they could have to be accessed by the different stakeholders as well. And along this line, to come up with a platform with the efficient data, baseline data, and as well as the projection of all. Maybe we could just limit it to some simple produce, say rice or whatever it is that the Department of Agriculture could identify and test it, not in the national, but we could start with the local or regional level, so that when this would be effective, it would be migrated to be in the national level. Who are these partners that we wanted to consider? One is, of course, the different organizations of farmers and fisher folks. They were organized, highly organized actually, no? And at times it's just a matter of guiding them what to do with what they have been producing. And of course, the line agencies of the government which have identified specifically in here. I would be very glad to see CIOF and CIOFF Association. I think this is a Foundation of Information Officers, as well as local government units. In Region 6, if I'm not mistaken, although I'm not very familiar with this that much, they are intending, specifically Negros Occidental, they are intending to really see that they will not be importing rice from other region, importing literally, no? But instead, if there would be not enough rice, they would substitute it either with corn or sweet potatoes, so that the economy within the province, for that matter, or Negros Island for that matter, would be determined on the way how they would be producing these goods and the like. Well, of course, as you can see, Negros Occidental is basically sugar producing province or island. And that is the thing that they are trying to look into. So this is what the agriculture and fisheries sector did as an exercise this morning. Thank you.